Hi everybody, welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft Season 5, Episode 93 with me, Sid, and I promised at the bit we're going to head into the dungeon. However, a couple of things have come up in the comments which I think need to be addressed before we do this. So, firstly, Jürgen P. mentioned if health is a concern, why not farm essence berry bushes? A mature bush will split into two if hit with a crook. Now, I do have some essence berry bushes, and if I recall, these things grow in the dark, so we need to come up with a way to farm these. I have a plan. It involves this hillside here and some digging. Or was it that hillside there and some digging? Or maybe, well, I have a plan. The other one is, if I can find the comment, Gaming with Night Dagger said, I just want to point out that I haven't seen you, because I haven't seen you discover it yet, which I hadn't. The recipe for the brewing stand was changed in this pack. It should be easily within your reach at this point. Now, I just assumed that the brewing stand recipe hadn't changed, but yeah, it's just a tough tool rod of more or less any and rose gold plate. So that's the thing too. So yeah, thanks guys for that. One of the problems with modern Minecraft is you do automatically assume that certain vanilla recipes are the same. I also have this thing going at the moment, but that is another issue. So we need to get together some bits because we need to build a safe underground bush farm, and for that I am going to want great wood planks. Yeah, but we can use willow as well. I think I've got some more willow. Willow, yes, we've got plenty of willow. We have definitely got plenty of planks, and we're going to want stone blocks of some description. What have I got plenty of? Smooth marble. We're going to want some I wonder whether we can we make lamps? Just a stupid question. Redstone lamp. I mean, I assume we can. Brass plates, tin wire. Which uses that. Alright, so lamps are not really a kind of a solution here. I suppose we can always just stick down jack-o'-lantern temporarily when we want to use it. It doesn't matter, there is no danger of spawning down there. But so my thoughts were around this point. In fact, this is a nice, damn, it's a nice even. This is a nice odd piece of land here. So we're going to come in here and we are going to hollow out a big chunk of dirt. Yeah, I'll get that done. I'll be back with you in a second. Alright, so as so many of my projects recently have been, starts with a hole in the ground. I have got my hole in the ground. And what I'm doing is I'm going to have slab walkways around the growing beds. There are going to be 4 growing beds, each 2 wide. If I remember rightly, I think essence berry bushes might be spiky. So we do need to think about that. Now, obviously the slab walkways make this unspawnable. But when there's nothing planted here, you have more of an issue. Now, I checked on my memory of essence berry bushes is flawed to say the least, because you know I'm old. In fact, at the time of recording, I am 2 days away from my 51st birthday. So yeah, I know that one is coming. And I'm also waiting for a skip to be delivered. This is my life now. So we are unfortunately out of smooth marble. I can save a little bit of that though, because we don't need to worry about that hole or that hole Did I? I didn't do that, did I? No, I didn't. Good. So yeah, we can save some blocks, but still not that I'm going to have anywhere near enough marble. Now, fortunately, we live right near a marble biome, so that, you know, is not going to be an issue. But an annoyance, I think, is probably the phrase that you would perhaps use for this. But yeah, going to have this. We're going to obviously cover it all as well. I shall change you over to dirt so you can become grassy. And then this will all be covered in. Now what I'm going to do for the areas that don't have bushes in them, let me just get rid of these, is I'm going to use willow planks to cover these over. So for example, and it should, even in the dark, be relatively easy to spot those and pull them out as and when required. Now I'm trying to remember, I just do the, I think you just do the, yeah, that was right. So I'm just trying to remember the technique for willow planks. There you go. It's easy with great wood because great wood is a non-TFC wood, so it acts accordingly. I'm going to leave those two open, but I did check the essence berry bushes, and definitely in 1.7 they did require the dark to grow. So if I plant these down, they shouldn't grow. I'll be very embarrassed if they do. Well, not very. I'll be a little bit embarrassed if they do. Ow! Yes, they spiky. Okay, now here's a question. I should be able to walk between them. You know what? If I can't. But they're spiky. We need a considerable amount more smooth marble, so I'm going to head over and get some of that and get a roof on this thing. We'll put a door on it, and the world will be good and happy. Back in a moment. Alright, this is now in, and this is growing. I'm not sure. I may need to redesign the interior of this, and I definitely think at some point we're going to want a redstone lamp in, but I'm not going down that road yet. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this one here is going to be getting too much light from that door. I have to say, I'm very tempted to move these back. Yeah, let's do that. Including that one, even though it's grown. So these are definitely spawnable blocks, which is fine, because we are going to make them unspawnable, and then we are going to whack down some of that, and we're going to let these guys grow. As I say, what we may do is just rejig this depending on how deadly, because I've noticed that my boots have taken a little bit of damage from that, and it is very dark in here, so we're probably going to need to come back to this at some point in the future. However, my plan here is to come up with that, and then we're going to hide the rest of this under a layer of dirt, and that obviously become grass, and everything will be good. So we need to let those grow and become mature, and then try hitting them with a crook and see if they will indeed split. I've got no reason to suspect they won't. That's, oh hello. But we do need to cover this over first and make it look nice. Move that chest away, and then we can move on to the next focus, which is the potion brewing stand. Because if that works, then I am laughing. I've tested the potions in this, and they do work. A potion of healing restores 200 health, and a potion of healing 2 restores 400 health. So yeah, they're not insignificant. The recipe for regen potions uses gas tears, but they've been renamed silverfish scales. So that suggests to me that at some point we're going to find a way of getting silverfish. If I recall correctly, I think sometimes those dungeons actually had silverfish blocks in them, so that might be what we had in mind. I've got no idea how tough they are, because obviously they're not a natural TFC mob, but you know, we will find out. How are you doing? Oh, you sprouted weeds again. Okay, I'll get there eventually. Right, so I just need to finish off covering that that mound now, and maybe checking up on the hoofers while we're in there. But there is nothing, nowhere anything can spawn in there, and that's the main thing. They haven't grown yet, but that doesn't matter. I mean, they would have been planted a short while. Yeah, I'll continue filling this in. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, now, next job, rose gold. I don't think I've got any rose gold, so we need to make a rose gold plate, which requires 2 dual rose gold, so that's 70 between, basically 3 gold to 1 copper. 1, 2, 3 to 1, I think will do the trick. Is it worthwhile? Will you go that way? Let me just double check. But alloy smelter, why will you? Casting table, molten rolls gold, 8 to 2. Okay, so 4 to 1. That should do the trick. Bang bang. It's a shame there isn't a plate cast, isn't there? Let me just double check that they've not added something along those lines. I mean, there is that plate, but that's not the plate we're looking for. No, it doesn't look like it. There's our rose gold, 5 ingots worth, so we can get those out. Then we need to weld 2 of them together to make a double ingot, turn it into a plate, and we should be good and happy. Right, so for that, chunk, 2 of those. It doesn't take long to get there, so I'll have to keep my eye on it. And we shall weld that. Use those just to block that. Yeah, they're going to heat up as soon as they're ready. Weld them, make a plate, be done in a second. Alright, we got that. While the forge is running, there is something else we need to do. I'll just check you. Oh, you've gone and split, but we need to grab a bunch of this. So we need to make dried amaranth to make potions, which you basically do like that. And then you dry it out in a forge or a fire pit, and that will give us nether wart, for want of a better name. Now while that is doing, let us also sort out this tough tool rod pattern with, I think that'll do us. So that just leaves us with stone slab. Oops, not a slab. Any stone, hammer and chisel will get you 2. Okay, let's do that one. Now we're going to have to build a potion brewing thing for all of this. This is going to be a thing, obviously. But right now, 1, 2. Those, chisel, blah, bang. Handy. I love the way they're using the chisel in this. It's got to be said, it's really nice to see the hammer and chisel mechanic used well. And right, let's just have a look at our amaranth. There we go, dried amaranth. Oh, and that's a good source of precantatio. Excellent. Well, we'll run this charcoal down that's in there, and but for now, we should be able to get a brewing stand, which is excellent. And also for now, we'll place that in there. It is a vanilla brewing stand, but if you look, we've got dried amaranth to make awkward potions, which, yeah, normal. Fermented spider eye is with vinegar, so with that again, we can do all of the things. I don't know why. Fermented powder eye we use for something, I'm fairly certain. Oh yeah, villagers. Magma cream, blaze powder and slime. Again, we can do that. That's all doable. What was that one for? That is resistance, isn't it? Not a great thing, but possibly useful for the lower levels. Strength is blaze powder. Again, we can handle that. We can get in there eventually to swiftness. Regen is a silverfish scale, which you obviously get from sanding. I would love to know where I get netherrack from, because the only place I can think of is the bottom of those things. Anyways, we need some glass, and I don't think that will work. So what we're going to need, let's see, how are you doing? Does this stuff not stack at all? Oh, it does. But not until it's cooled down. Okay, that's fine. So let us go, first and foremost, let me do this. So there, 8, 10, 9. Hasn't improved. Damn you. It's getting very awkward to improve these crops when you get to a certain level. Anyway, that is fine. I need to have a bite to eat. Drink. And quickly sleep the night off. Eventually, there we go. That will do us there. They should now all stack. That'll be enough of those, I think. What I do need is this to make that. Oh, hang on, can't do it that way. Yep, that will do. And then we're doing some of that. That will make us 3 of those. And no. No. Alright, how the hell do I turn these into bottles then? There's a trick to this, and I have done it. I just can't remember what it is. bottling machine. Oh man, hang on then. Minecraft bottle is Tinker's clear glass, apparently. Okay. Which would be why I've got that. Now the recipe, of course, for Tinker's clear glass is dust or dust. Okay. I'm sure I didn't do that. Dust is made by grinding sand. I'm fairly certain I didn't do any of this, but I'm not going to argue. If it says I did, I did. Let me put those away. Split one of those that way like that, and then we'll get some dust. We'll make some Tinker's clear glass, and we will be good. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, now, all things being equal, there's a load of glass in the smeltery. All things being equal, you can actually also smelt glass in this smeltery. You don't have to go through the dusting. You can cook glass and then cook it again to make Tinker's clear glass. But that should mean now I have got 3 bottles of water, which we can make into a thick potion, awkward potion even. While that's doing, I just want to go and have a look at my essence berry farm, see how that is progressing along. That one looks like it's mature, so if I were to make a crop now and hit it, it's split. Excellent, it does actually work. Thank you very much. Right, that is going to be useful then, so we can expand this pretty well. What I'll do is probably over here somewhere I'll stick a lantern to turn on and off. But these are going to grow, they're going to make me experience, so we've got another option for experience, which, you know, it's always good to have options. Yeah. Right, let's go and have a look. So the next thing we need, I need some, I've got, yeah, let's just do it in here. We need to pop in here for starters, and we are going to grab a little bit of this. We are going to trim the decay off it, and then we're going to chop it down, and then down again, and down again, down again, till we got, let's get it down to 4-ish, there you go. And then we'll combine these back, just because we can, and put them back in there, and then we'll break you into 1.2 and 1.2, and that will be 1.2 and 1.2. I just want really small quantities, because you don't need to like make 100 and, you know, use a full 160 ounce block of melon. And one of the nice things is that for golden nuggets, these things count. So in theory, there is our glistering melon. Oops, hello. Probably not the best thing. So yeah, these things came in at last. Other than just being a source of small source of gold, they're actually quite useful. We'll eat that quickly. And what we're going to do is we're going to make, I will actually make 4 lots of this, but we also need some of you. Let me take those out. Actually, let me take those out of there, and we shall put that into that one and just spin that a few times. Sand, and just out of curiosity, oh, we got something out of it. What did we get? Limonite powder. Oh, got some yellow dye. 4, perfect. So from there we can get to that. In fact, we'll get a screenshot while we're at it, because why not? Because, you know, this is where the episode's going. Now, the reason I want to do 4 lots, and the reason I actually need to go and make some more glass, is 4 lots is 12. That means I can put, because obviously potions don't stack. So I'm just checking. I've got my still expecting me skip. So because potions don't stack, I need a way of carrying a reasonable number of them into a dungeon without having any significant issues, and the obvious answer to that is I can carry 12 in 3 of those, which will be a lot more efficient than, you know, faffing around with the other things. So I have got plenty of glass in here. I'll get those done. We'll make 12 lots of potions, and I shall be right back with you. Alright, I've also been upgrading my shuriken a little bit, just for good measure. I've not tested it on a spider yet, so still needs a little bit more upgrade, but it should be able to 2-shot a creeper, which I did see one over there. Hello, Mr. Creeper. I've also planted fruit trees up here. Are you coming? Hello. 1, 2. Yes, it does. I've run out of quartz, which is my issue here. So that is a thing. I just want to, well, before I go and do that, I need to sort out my inventory a little bit. And also this, whoops, hang on, this particular issue as well. Let me just get these mob drops out my inventory. I'm going to put that little bit of quartz in there. Now, I did have a lot more of that quartz, and the reason it is missing should become apparent in a moment. There we go. We now have 3 things of potions of healing, 2. So that's 12 potions of healing. So we are well set for that. Now, I wanted to get these 2 more modifiers remaining. Oh, I've only put 46 or 48 on there as well. That's not good. But in here, there's another 20. Oh, is that one we got out of it? We're not going to get another batch out of it. We will need to stick on the last modifier. We need to get some more quartz for that. But that TFC quartz, if you combine it into a quartz block, you can... Let me just do that. There you go. Now you should have 48 of 48, and you've got 157 plus 3, 32, and then you can go, well, might as well pile it on, still save time later. And it does increase your damage output normally anyway. Not a huge amount. I mean, you got plus 333 damage for all that quartz, which, yeah, not brilliant. Anyway, we need to just go and check up on our things. Yeah, these, convert them into blocks and then grind them down in the sag mill. It's not perfect, you do lose things, but there you go. I keep on forgetting I've got that sag mill. Anyway, we need a potion brewing shack. That's the thing we're going to have to make at some point. Not this episode, not next episode. Next episode, I am going to make good on my promise, and I am going to head into the mines. So we have that, and we can go in there and give that a little bit of a beat it up a bit with a crook, and then we should be able to split this up. Now, as I say, this this design may change, but you know, we can fill this out, and there's a little bit of work to do on it, but I'll see how that goes, because what I don't want to do is be damaging those all the time. But yeah, that gives us experience, and that's not bad. 3 from a single essence berry, so that's another means of getting our experience levels up quite quickly. There is one last thing to do, because I set this going, seems like ages ago, but I think it was only an episode, about 3 episodes ago, and that was the item frame to put our flint and steel in. No, there you go, thank you. So with that note, we are going to get ready to head into the dungeon again. We are better prepared than previously, and I'll get myself together and we will head in there next episode. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do keep the comments coming. I know I don't reply as much as I should, but I do read every comment, and they are valuable. There's a wealth of information out there, and obviously that some of you know that some of us don't. So yeah, keep it coming, because it's useful stuff. And until next time, bye for now.